Good morning. Happy Father's Day to everyone who is a father and everyone who had one. Get it? Okay, well, that fell with a thud. So let's start again. Good morning. And welcome to Unity of Palmyra, where centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. We are an open and affirming community. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory, and we are so happy that you are here this morning on this gorgeous Central Pennsylvania day. So let's take a minute to simply breathe, to become fully present, to let go of what was and what will be, and all the name tags to make this week. And we give ourselves the gift of being fully present, right here, right now. There is nothing in the universe except this moment, right here, right now. And feel the sweetness of that truth and the joy found in that truth. For there is no regret and no worry. There is simply presence. And as always, we enter into this experience together with gratitude as we say thank you for this time to come apart for a while, to remember the truth of who we are, that we are spiritual beings having an incredibly, amazingly wonderful human experience. And we say thank you for whatever safe space you are in this morning, whether you are joining us in the sanctuary or watching us through the ethers, as Charles Fillmore liked to say. We are so glad you're here. And most especially, we say thank you for one another, for this beloved community so committed to making a difference in our lives and in our world. And so it is. Amen. Let's stand. Together, may the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to hurt, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Divine Spirit. Now, today is mysticism and the path of the mystic. And so we're going to dive into our souls today. Are you ready? All right.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
That was beautiful. Let's share together in our vision. Centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. And one of the ways we practice those principles is to honor wherever you are. It's like, I thought there was something else up there. Dan, click. Click. Nope. Nope. It didn't show up. There was something cute up there. Darn it. Darn that PowerPoint. Anyway, we honor wherever you are on your hugging journey. What? So if you want to hug, we will hug you with abandon. If you're more comfortable with the handshake, we will respect that. And if you want us to leave you completely alone, we totally understand, and we will honor whatever bubble you create about yourself. Have a great time.
There you go.
I gotta start over. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. See, I'm playing things. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Well done. All right, a couple of brief announcements, because the first announcement is today is our monthly hug meeting. We have a full meal downstairs, so please do stay and have fellowship with us and come to the hug meeting. We have a bunch of announcements, stuff going on that we need to keep you informed of, and things we need you to sign up for, like Pride on the 23rd, and the TLC Day, the Tender Loving Care Day, which is on the 30th. So remember, that Sunday, wear your grubbies. Grubbies. And Jackie has generously and graciously offered to bring some grubbies along in case anyone forgets, so that everyone can stay for pizza and help with the TLC Day. So we had a great meeting last week, and we've divided the things into maintenance and repairs and painting and organizing. So wherever your strong suit is, that's where you can sign up downstairs, and then we will spiff up our beautiful building. We'll talk more about that at the hug meeting. Our prayer chaplains today are Linda Klein. Yay, Linda, you made it. We're so happy you're here. Yay! And we send many blessings and healing energy to that beautiful shoulder. And Lisa is also here. So they will both be holding sacred space for us, and then they'll be available after the service for anyone wanting one-on-one prayer. So as we said, Lebanon Pride is next Sunday. Gwen's going to go early and start setting up, and then it is 1 to 5. So, and I'll be running over. There's several of us who will be running over, but we do need people to help with that. And I think we'll just save everything else. Oh, except thank you for everybody who is signing up for name tags. Part of being a welcoming community is that everybody gets to know everybody else's name, and nobody needs to know the secret handshake to be welcome here. Okay? So Tammy and Diana have the clipboard. There's also one downstairs. And just to dispel a misperception, you do not need to be a member to get a name tag. Anyone who walks in this building gets a name tag so that we can get to know you better. So please do sign up. And as I said before, we've made it super easy for you. There's a little basket on a new little table to drop off as you're leaving. We're also starting a new thing that we're going to be putting out a little basket of kind of affirmations and inspirations that pertain to that Sunday's message. And so that is your reward for dropping off your name tag. See, we're going to be demonstrating giving and receiving, except we'll be receiving the name tag and then giving you an affirmation. What do you think? Is that sweet? All right, talk about a demonstration of principle. All right, Jensen, would you like to read the daily word? Do you want to stand up? You want to stand up? No? Yeah. Mom says, do it. Okay.
The date.
Is it on?
The daily words. Father's blessing. I bless my father with loving thoughts, gratitude. Today I bless my father with the father figures I have known, with thoughts of love, appreciation. The man I call father may or may not be related to me. But he has touched my life with love. I give thanks of those fatherly figures who selflessly gave their time and love to help me grow into a person I am today. Their demonstration and patience showed me how to give others space and time. Their humor and lightheartedness taught me to not take myself too seriously. Their gratitude and trust encouraged me to be independent and trust myself. I would not be the person I am today without the lesson of love and wisdom shared by my father. If so, many ways he gave me a strong foundation on which I built my life. I am grateful and blessed with all he has given to me. Honor your fathers, Matthew 15:4.
I am home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
And so this is the time where we consciously enter into that attitude of prayer, that integration of body, mind, and spirit, where we align ourselves with that divine source, that divine energy that we call God. And we open our hearts and our minds so that that energy can flow through us freely, reminding us of who we are. And so today we honor the fathers among us. And we honor that masculine energy that's so powerful, so supportive, and can be so nurturing. In unity, we honor both the masculine and the feminine energies, and we recognize how important it is that they be in balance. And so we honor those men who have nurtured and cared for others, whether they were their biological children or children of choice, or simply any child or individual who was in need of that presence, who was in need of that support. And we also pray for a healing of that masculine energy in the world, so that more and more men recognize the power of care, the power of compassion, the power, the incredible power of gentleness. And so we take a deep breath and we go within and we bless those men in our lives with such gratitude. And we honor them for their role in the world. We also call into this circle of love anyone who is experiencing a challenge, a heartbreak, a concern, and we surround you with love, with strength, with wisdom and courage. We call forth the wisdom of Spirit through you, showing you the way, holding you as you find your way. And then we invite anyone who is experiencing joy this morning to share it with us, to bring it on, and to spread it through that golden web that we visualize as connecting us all. We are so grateful for your presence. And as always, we affirm that together or apart, we are forever connected at the heart. And so it is. Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste.
Okay, that was awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. What a wonderful introduction to the path of the mystic. So, welcome back to Congregant's Choice, and I'm trying to remember who asked for this one, and I think it might have been, was it Lana? And I think Sarah also. We actually had 2 requests, I think, for talking about being a mystic, what is a mystic, and just mysticism, which is so perfect for unity, and we'll get into that. So I found a great definition. Actually, there are as many definitions of mystic and mysticism as there are people in this room, and probably more. So I picked the ones I liked. So a mystic is a person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehensions of truths that are beyond the intellect. So there are also thousands and thousands of websites devoted to this. So again, I found one that I agreed with and liked. So I want to read you a little bit from that, and then we're going to go into what I call the path of the mystic. And remember, we are doing a Q&A after these talks because these were your questions, and I want to make sure that I've hopefully answered them, and if I didn't, that's your opportunity to ask to go a little bit deeper or wider. So this is from what's called the Loner Wolf website. Pretty cool, huh? There is a certain mysterious, holy, and incandescent flame that burns at the center of every religion, spiritual path, and philosophy, and that is mysticism. From Buddhism and Hinduism to Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Taoism, and more, mysticism is the golden thread that connects all these religions together, despite how different each path's dogmas may look on the surface. And that reminded me of a metaphor that we use in interfaith, where we honor all paths to God. And so we use the graphic of a wagon wheel, and the outside of the wagon wheel and all the spokes are how each of the different religions and faith traditions demonstrate. But at the hub is the truth that is central to them all. And so that's what we're talking about here, that mystical truth about our innate divinity. So she goes on to say, for those who identify as spiritual but not religious, that would be us, mysticism is also at the heart of the spiritual journey, for it is the very heart, lifeblood, and impulse we carry within to connect with the divine. Indeed, mysticism is at the very root of the spiritual awakening journey. Without mysticism, our lives can feel dull, empty, directionless, and meaningless because there's no deeper impulse, no higher purpose. However, when we awaken our inner mystic, I think that should be a t-shirt, we find joy, play, vibrancy, truth, love, peace, and freedom again. Connecting with our inner mystic and walking the mystical path, therefore, is not just our basic human right, but our saving grace. A mystic is a person who seeks to awaken. Remember last week's What is Enlightenment? And we talk about it as waking up. So a mystic is a person who seeks to awaken, glimpse, and reclaim the innate spiritual oneness at the core of their being. In other words, a mystic is a spiritual seeker who is driven to surrender their ego and orients their whole lives towards deeply integrating the primordial truth that they are an inseparable part of the divine. Can you see why I liked this one? It's really cool. Mysticism, a word that became popular in the 18th century, stems from the Greek word mustis, which I'm probably pronouncing badly, which refers to someone who has been initiated into the mysteries. But mysticism itself has been around since the dawn of time. Some of the more famous mystics throughout history include Lao Tzu, Gurdjieff, Pythagoras, Gautama Buddha, Julian of Norwich, Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi, Saint Teresa of Avila, Ramana Maharshi, Dante, Saint John of the Cross, Anandamaya Ma, Jesus Christ, Carl Jung, and so many more. There are numerous definitions of what a mystic is out there, but one that resonates strongly comes from author and translator of mystics, Mirabai Starr, who writes, "The way of the mystic is the way of surrender, of dying to the false self, to be reborn as the true self, capital S, the God self, capital S, the radiant divine being we actually are." And I love this part of this definition. It's not that the old self, the personality, the ego, the stories we tell about our lives is bad or wrong. It's really important that we hear that. It's that when we recognize the essential emptiness of our individual identity in light of the glorious gift of our interconnectedness with the One, capital O, independence becomes much less compelling. Isn't that interesting? So she lists 12 signs of the modern mystic. She says, based on my own years of experience and research. So as I'm reading these, see if any of these resonate with you. Number 1, you find it hard to fit in or belong in this world and crave to find some kind of home. Number 2, you feel dissatisfied with your life no matter how much material success you experience. Number 3, you can feel aimless and lost, and yet feel called to create a meaningful change on this planet. Number 4, you feel disillusioned by various religious, self-help, and spiritual paths. Number 5, you intensely crave a God/divine-filled life. Number 6, you've undergone a spiritual awakening and/or a dark night of the soul. Number 7, you feel everything intensely. Number 8, you crave solitude and you enjoy introspection. Number 9, you've experienced a spiritual crisis of some sort. Number 10, ever since childhood, you've been a deep thinker and a contemplative person. Number 11, you long to unite with something greater than you, capital G. And number 12, you've had transitory glimpses of oneness, illumination, or enlightenment. So at the heart of the modern mystic, and all mystics really, is the burning desire to reconnect with the soul and unite with spirit. Whether this deep spiritual thirst is fulfilled through religion or some other path is beside the point. As the quote goes by Zen Buddhist monk Ikkyo, "Many paths lead from the foot of the mountain, but at the peak we all gaze at the single bright moon." True mysticism is a relentless pursuit of truth. So did anybody relate to any of that? So it won't surprise you to learn that Unity is full of mystics. We are considered a mystical denomination because we acknowledge that we are both human and divine. Another aspect of our faith tradition and in our practice is, and this is one of the qualities of the perennial philosophy, is that we do not believe that we need an intermediary in order to access that divine, that we have direct source, we can directly contact spirit in all of its various forms and gifts, which is also part of being a mystic. In other words, we swim in spirit, and we recognize that everyone swims in spirit. So each of us has a journey that brought us to here. There's one school of thought that has broken that journey into 4 phases. And I'm saying one school of thought because everyone's path is different, right? Everyone's demonstration of their belief is different. But these 4 phases resonated with me. And so I wanted to share them because they might be helpful as we explore more deeply what it means to be a mystic, right? because mystics don't just happen. So, the 4 phases are mortal, metaphysician, mystic, and master, or victim, victor, vessel, verity. You got the M's and you got the V's. But what's most helpful for me is a little 2-word explanation of each. So mortal and victim, the 2-word explanation would be to me. Life happens to me. And there's an element of why me, comma, God, question mark, right? So the energy of that is that there's a certain inherent powerlessness and we have no control over what happens in our lives, right? Now this is not the healthy surrender and after deep experience and practice realizing we have no control over our lives. I'm not talking about that healthy surrender. I'm talking about the world is out to get me. No matter what I do, nothing ever turns out right, right? And it's never my fault. That's the important part of this one, right? There's no responsibility taking for the matter of our life, all right? So my life is just happening to me. There tends to be a lot of blaming, right? There tends to be a lot of assuming that things are not going to turn out. Like if you find yourself, something bad happened, you say, well, I knew that would happen. Anybody do that? Of course that happened, right? That's an indication of you believe that life happens to you. So the next phase is the metaphysician phase. And that phase is a little more interesting because in that phase, we believe that life happens by me. So not to me, but by me. So a lot of people find unity in this phase, okay? That's why we call it the metaphysician phase. So we feel more empowered. There's a lot of focusing on manifesting in this phase, right? Life doesn't just happen to me, it happens by me. I have power, right? But we're still more focused on ourselves than on others, right? It's how can this new power help me, right? And again, nothing wrong with this. This is a really important transition between mortal and mystic. We have to go through this phase. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We just don't want to stay here because this is where we can shift from why me, right, to, well, how did I attract this? Anybody ever ask that question? Come on. Right? And so there's less interest in this phase in now that I'm here, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to practice my principles? And there's more interested in figuring out how I attracted the car that hit me, right? Instead of a car has hit me, how am I going to practice my principles in response to this situation? Do you see the very subtle, not so subtle difference there, right? So Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj says, I just want you to acknowledge all of the really hard names I have had to say today. Please? Really? Okay. I love you guys. Okay. They say, they say, all you want is to be happy. All your desires, whatever they may be, are a longing for happiness. Basically, you wish yourself well. Desire by itself is not wrong. It is life itself, the urge to grow in knowledge and experiences. It is the choices that you can make that are wrong. To imagine that some little thing, food, sex, power, fame, will make you happy is to deceive oneself. Only something as vast and deep as your real self can make you truly and lastingly happy. So that, in a nutshell, is the shift, when we realize that, is the shift from metaphysician to mystic. All right? And again, absolutely nothing wrong with this phase. But if we want to grow, we don't want to stay there. All right? We want to deepen our practice. We want to deepen our understanding of spiritual law. So that leads us to mystic. So mystic is the vessel of the V's, okay? And a mystic understands that life demonstrates, exists, works through me. So we go from to me to by me, and that's B-Y, not B-U-Y, to through me, all right? So the mystic, and remember one of the things from the list is that most people, I'll just say I've never met anyone who has even a remotely mystical energy that has not gone through a crisis or a dark night of the soul. And so that tends to be a very humbling experience. So one of the qualities of the mystic that they didn't list was there is a humility to it. And remember, humility is not thinking less of ourselves, it's thinking of ourselves less. The mystic gets that, right? And they realize that there's more to life than what we can manifest, that the real joy in life is when we partner with the divine. And that energy tends to focus us on serving others. So it's not, I got a great parking space, right? It's, I made a difference in someone's life. So in Essential Spirituality by Roger Walsh, he talks about service as the supreme practice. He observes that service is in fact the result of all the previous practices, that those people who had a profound spiritual realization then devoted their lives to service. In his study of world history, the historian Arnold Toynbee observed that a cycle of withdrawal and return marked the lives of people who had contributed most to civilization. He asked, who are the greatest benefactors of the living generations of mankind? I should say Confucius and Lao Tzu, the Buddha, the prophets of Israel and Judah, Zoroaster, Jesus, Muhammad, and Socrates. In other words, he says, we don't meditate, pray, study, contemplate, give, and worship just because it feels good, although it's okay that it feels good. We do so in order to wake up and be of higher service. Walsh says it this way, humanity's greatest and most effective friends do two things. They awaken and they share their awakening with the world. So that leads us to master, right? So we've gone from mortal to metaphysician to mystic to master. And the master recognizes that life demonstrates as me. And so we can imagine the masters from history, right? We can picture all of those beautiful names that we've been hearing that I'm not going to say again through the talk. They were the masters. There was full awakening. Remember last week during What is Enlightenment, we talked about the goal of practice is to stay awake for longer and longer periods of time before we go back to sleep. And then we wake up again and stay awake, and then we go back to sleep, right? So the master is awake. There's a full realization of both the human and the divine, and they are fully focused on awakening others. They see everyone as sacred. So Thomas Merton observed, then it was as if I suddenly saw the secret beauty of their hearts, the depth of their hearts, the core of their reality, the person that each one is in God's eyes. If only they could see themselves as they really are. If only we could see each other that way all the time, there would be no more war, no cruelty, no more greed. I suppose the big problem then would be that we would fall down and worship each other.
How would I treat myself if I thought I was sacred? How would I love myself if nothing was wrong? I'd be in the moment, enjoying what's inside, and sing to the world a glorious song. How would you treat yourself if you thought you were sacred? How would you love yourself if nothing was wrong? You'd be in the moment, enjoying what's inside, and sing to the world a glorious song. You are sacred. You are sacred. You are sacred. You are sacred. How would we treat ourselves if we knew we were sacred? How would we love ourselves if nothing was wrong? We'd be in the moment, enjoying what's inside, and sing to the world a glorious song.
I know, right? So, let's do our Q&A, and then we'll have a few moments of silence. Any questions? Any clarification needed? Any ahas or oh no's?
Do you believe you can do that travel in more than one lifetime? Is that you've come here more than once and twice and 10 times, and that's how we actually travel to that mystic part?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I do believe if we want to come back, we can. I also believe if we don't want to, we don't have to, which my mother is really grateful for, because she told me a couple of years ago, she said, I'm not coming back again. I'm like, that's great, Mom, you don't have to. Yeah, I think I just think it's where your spirit and your consciousness is, absolutely. Yeah, and one of the reasons I chose some of the readings that I chose was because there's no bashing up the journey, right? It's a journey. There's nothing wrong with wherever you are on the journey. I keep forgetting to do that, so thank God my husband is in the back saying, "Put down the microphone." Okay, yeah, so there's nothing wrong with us. Did you hear that? There is nothing wrong with us, right? I saw a great piece the other day that said, you don't need to be born again, you were born just fine the first time, right? And that also speaks to, again, another mistranslation, right? Repent doesn't mean there was something inherently wrong with you. It meant if you make a mistake, fix it, right? Which, by the way, we should all do anyway, right? Okay, Jeff, don't let me put this up to my mouth when you're done, because...
So I love this topic, and some of my most significant learning has been to not look for and wait for those magnificent mystical moments, but to pay attention to now and what's happening right before me. Because whether it's like we were in Maine, and it was just gorgeous. And one of the things I was most taken with was a little flower that I had found on the path. And that to me is because there's wonder in everything,
Yeah.
if I choose to see it.
There is enlightenment in that flower, right? Remember last week we said, what if we're making enlightenment harder than it needs to be? What if it's just waking up? We have a tendency to do that.
This is a personal question for you.
Okay.
Who is your favorite mystic and why?
Ooh. Oh. Don't put it up to my mouth. Thank you, Sarah. It was headed there. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Steph. So this is interesting. I don't know if she would consider herself a mystic, but I think she's a great teacher. And I resonate with great teachers, right? So one person / author who has helped me tremendously is Pema Chodron. So I would consider her a mystic. I don't know if she would. But one of the things I love about Pema is she embraces the human aspect of our spirituality. And she asks us to embrace it, right? So it's with Pema, it's that full integration of humanity and divinity. Is that okay? I'll think about that more this week, but I just love Pema. She gives you permission to fall apart. Yes, she's a sweetie. Yep. The other reason I love Pema is you guys might have noticed, I am very practical, right? I loved it when we were called the Practical School of Christianity, because it was all about how to live Jesus's message. And Pema's very practical, you know, and I love that. So. Steve said Yoda. Well, Yoda is obviously, does not have to be real. I mean, Yoda kind of goes without saying, Steve, I think. That would be, yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because you might say, with how much I love Jesus, why would I not pick Jesus? Because again, goes without saying. And I think of Jesus, he was definitely a mystic and probably a Gnostic, but he was also a prophet. And that's one of the things I love about Jesus, was he spoke with that voice of the Hebrew prophets, trying to wake us up, right? So, anybody else? Good questions. Questions are my favorite part, by the way. Yes, Lynn.
I'm always transformed when I'm here, within the moment, the journey. And I think we have many of those mystical moments. It's how to live them. Mm-hmm. Because you touch something you don't have words for. And you provide that here.
Oh, thank you.
The music and everybody here. And it's a wonderful place to refresh your soul. So with you providing it, how do you embrace the day? Are you able to do that? Because you give so much. So are you in it? Or
So is this, let's put Reverend Stephanie on the spot day? I'm pretty sure that, what? It's right, no, it's okay. It's every day. So, that's okay. That's okay. So, one of the other things I love about Unity is, yes, it is a very mystical path, because we honor the divine within, and it also honors many ways to practice, right? So we have some people here who are incredible meditators and incredible prayers and incredible speakers. Some do more than that, incredible musicians. Oh my God, the music today is just off the charts. I told them, my talk can be really bad as long as the music is good, okay? I mean, seriously, it's just wonderful. So how I restore is through creating anything, whether it's creating the new table or centerpieces or talks or services, putting together services. It's an absolute joy, and that's what feeds me. Creating in my garden, I love to create. It makes me very happy, and that's what connects me. Because when Janie and I are working together to create these services, it is very spirit-led. It is how can we serve, right? We remind ourselves regularly, these are not performances, we are creating experiences, right? And that feeds me. That makes me happy. And being alone. I need my Greta Garbo days. I want to be alone, right? Yeah, so I definitely need my alone days. Very, very important. And a husband who tolerates all of my projects. Because he knows it makes me so happy. So, any other questions? All right, so let's just take a minute to go into the silence and ask ourselves the incredibly powerful question we just heard our amazing musicians sing. What would our life look like if we knew we were sacred? And not just know it in our head, but know it in our heart and in our soul and in every cell of our body, that we are sacred, that everyone we meet is sacred and is an expression of the divine. There is such joy and freedom in that knowing. We let go of needing to know. We let go of needing to fix. We let go of always trying to figure out what could go wrong. And we are just in the moment, present, enjoying that flower, enjoying the bird song, enjoying the sound of rain on the roof, enjoying simply being in the presence of one another. The path of the mystic is one of freedom and joy and compassion and service. It is a path of love. What would our lives look like if we knew we were sacred?
How would we treat ourselves if we knew we were sacred? How would we love ourselves if nothing was wrong? We'd be in the moment, enjoying what's inside, and sing to the world a glorious song, and sing to the world a glorious song.
So much gratitude. And speaking of gratitude, this is the time in our service where we do not pass a basket. If you want to donate to the amazing work of this community, there's a basket for paper in the back, and there's all sorts of ways to donate through the ethers. I also want to give a special shout out to everyone who is donating to the Lift Fund. I think we are this close to $20,000. The architect is done with their phase 1, our phase 2. We are moving into the second phase. Pretty soon you're going to see emergency lighting popping up all over the building, and maybe some fire pools at some doors. So we are plugging away, getting everything we need to get done so that we can have a lift in that room to make us a truly welcoming community. And we can give you some more details about that at the HUG meeting. So thank you for your incredible generosity.
One moment, please. Something was very, very wrong.
John's up here. It's G.
That's the one, yeah. By the way, everybody, this is John Hirsch, and he, at the very last minute, agreed to come and play percussions for us. And I have also noticed he has a really fabulous singing voice.
Yay!
So we might have to drag him back in someday.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Much better. When I was a kid, each week, on Sunday we'd go to church, pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word, and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is that everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. And now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, and an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. And so the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. And now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven second rate, hand me down. But I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face to say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come to say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. used to be a world half there, heaven second rate, hand me down. Now I'm walking with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Let's stand and share on our unity blessing, and let's give our musicians an extra little bit of love for all of their incredible music today. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. Go forth and have a mystically wonderful week. Please join us downstairs for fellowship and the hug meeting. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye, YouTube and Facebook friends. We love you. Have a wonderful week.